Namaste, Hindustan. Are you happy with the way some people are behaving in this country? What is wrong with this kind of people like Chidambaram? I came across one of his latest tweets. He writes, if you wish to be trained as a driver, a washerman or barber, become an Agniveer. If you wish to be trained as a chowkidar, become an Agniveer. If you wish to learn to fry pakodas, become an Agniveer. And if you wish to become a soldier, do not apply. I couldn't believe it. What is wrong with you, Mr. Chidambaram? You were a union minister, a responsible person for the whole country for more than 15-20 years, I believe. This is ridiculous. What has gone wrong with you? Only an enemy or a traitor or a terrorist can demand the youth not to apply for a post in the Indian military. The foreign mafia has already ruined this country to the core. Once in power, you made our forces starve for funds, and now out of power, you are trying to make our forces starve for manpower. This is an act against the country. This is an act of terror, and you are responsible for it. And you should be charged for it. I am a retired soldier who served the country selflessly for 20 long years. So, I have all the right to ask a person with a peanut-sized brain like you, and you are liable to answer. Mr. Chidambaram, have you done this on the instruction from the Chinese? I have a reason to ask you. I have a reason to believe so. Look at this article from the Indian Express long ago. Why is Congress hiding its MOU with China's communist? You know who signed it? When you were in the ministry, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi went to China and signed an MOU with them. What was in that MOU? Is your behavior based on the instruction received from the Chinese Communist Party, Mr. Chidambaram? I have many reasons to believe so. Look at this. CBI charges Chidambaram with forgery, corruption and cheating. The charge is still on. A dog produces a dog. That's a law of the nature. Look at this. After CBI, ED books Karthi Chidambaram on charges of money laundering in Chinese visas case. How is this? Karthi Chidambaram is your son. Is he in jail or he is on bail? Mr. Chidambaram, do you know what are the ED and ID cases against Rahul and Sonia Gandhi? You people are agitating all over the country because ED is questioning Rahul Gandhi. They want to know the truth. Mr. Chidambaram, did you serve as a Home Minister in the Mafia Ministry? I think you were a Home Minister in the UPA Ministry. Did this happen during your time? As a Home Minister, 11 nuclear scientists died in mysterious circumstances in 4 years. That was between 2009 and 2013. You were very much in power. And the mystery still remains as a mystery because you conducted an inquiry and destroyed all the evidences, right? Mr. Chidambaram, this used to happen on a regular basis during your tenure. Beheading and vengeance. A cycle of killing on a border in Kashmir. Report by the New York Times. And you are not able to move even your little finger against it. Did you want a complete destruction of the Indian Army on the instruction of the Chinese? Mr. Chidambaram, Navy was not spared. Look at this news. Grim hunt for 18 Indian sailors trapped on a Navy submarine after explosion. We had seen a series of explosions in the Indian Navy. And finally, what was the reason? And the reason was the finance ministry headed by you did not release enough money for the spare parts and they had to buy duplicate spare parts. And that led to all the explosions. Can you deny your responsibility from this kind of incidents? Mr. Chidambaram, Indian Air Force was the biggest victim. Look at this news. This is when you were in power. Rafale fighter deal deferred for 2014-15. No money left. Antony. Who's Antony? Antony was the defense minister. And what he said, the finance ministry is not releasing funds. There's no money with the government. And who was the finance minister? It was you, Mr. Chidambaram. Why you were reluctant to release the funds? Because you didn't want the Rafale to come to this country. You didn't want India to be competitive. against the Chinese and the Pakistanis. Is it, Mr. Chidambaram? Look at this news. Rafale deal, Supreme Court gives clean chit. Here's a brief timeline of the fighter jet case. Who filed a case against the Rafale deal in the Supreme Court? You, your party. You didn't want that to happen. You never wanted those Rafale jets to come to India. You always wanted Indian military to remain weak. The weakest in the world. Right, Mr. Chidambaram? Look at this news, Mr. Chidambaram. This is what you have done. This is the news from 20th February 2013 when you were very much in power. Almost 9 years into the power, what you have done to Indian military is, look at this news, India's shrinking military capabilities. And you are responsible for it. Was it because of the MOU signed with the Chinese, Mr. Chidambaram? You were the finance minister. Look at this, what brilliance you have done to the country. India is one of the economies in the world's fragile five. Do you want to know the date? 29 January 2014. You brought this country to the fragile five. Today, we are the fourth largest economy in the world. Today, Indian Air Force is even better than the Chinese Air Force. That's what the global agencies are reporting. Chidambaram, now you're not able to stand the progress and improvement of the nation, right? Because your MOU is hanging above your head. Mr. Chidambaram, if you can't stand and see all these big leaps we are making, all this progress that we are making, you better leave this country and go and live in a country where you have an agreement, where you have an MOU, which is signed by Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. Take them along with you. We Indians want to progress. We Indians want to live in peace. We Indians want to live securely in this country. And we don't want dirty lavas like yours ruining this country and ruining the peace and harmony in this country. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.